friends, and thank you for pressing play on this video talking all about the do's and don'ts of exercise with scoliosis. I'm arolineJordan, your certified health and fitness coach, here to teach you how to use movement as medicine. And today I'm excited and delighted to welcome special expert guest, Vivian Doan, onto the channel to share her top tips of exercising with scoliosis. Vivian is an integrative health practitioner and the creator of SCOLIOFITNESS, a program that incorporates exercise, nutrition, and mindset practices to empower those with scoliosis. SCOLIOFITNESS is a program based on her background in physical therapy, yoga for scoliosis, and corrective exercise, as well as her own personal scoliosis journey. Welcome, Vivian. We are so excited to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me, Caroline. I'm super excited to talk to you today.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and your journey with scoliosis?
Okay, great. So as you mentioned, I'm an integrative health practitioner, and I created SCOLIOFITNESS. It's been something that's always been on my mind, but I've more recently, in the past couple of years, been able to bring it out to everyone. So I was personally diagnosed with scoliosis when I was 10. And ever since then, I've been fascinated with the human body and the way it moves. But back then, when I was first diagnosed, there was only a couple options. So you can get surgery, you can do bracing, or you wait and see. And so I was given the option to wait and see, which felt really disempowering, because at the time, if you're told when you're 10 years old that you have a spinal deformity, and yet there's nothing you can do about it, then it's a bit confusing. And it's also at a time when you're going through a lot of other changes in your body, right? Because you're growing, you're going through puberty, you're going through middle school. It's a very awkward stage. So the way that I dealt with it then was just kind of ignoring that I had it, right? So, that's when you would wear your hair long to cover it up so no one would see it, or kind of just pretended I didn't have it and would continue on. I grew up playing tennis and softball and just didn't really pay much attention to it. And then fast forward 15 years later, I was doing a yoga teacher training, and through all the twisting, my curve actually got worse. So I noticed that my rib was protruding forward more on my left side. So then it made me kind of think back, why is this happening? And it's because of my scoliosis. So I went further to learn about yoga for scoliosis. And then with that, it kind of just this whole personal journey of figuring out what can I do for my body? And then so I went and completed a degree in physical therapy. And I did it at UCL in London. And it was in partnership with the Royal National Orthopaedic Hospital in Stanmore. So if you know anyone, and anyone's watching from the UK, that's where Princess Eugenie actually had her scoliosis surgery.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's lots of scoliosis specialists at that hospital. So that's what drew me there for the program. And then so I combined that with my knowledge of corrective exercise as well. And that's how the birth of SCOLIOFITNESS kind of started. And then with my program and the programming and my lifestyle changes, I was actually able to decrease my curve, and I even grew a centimeter.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So and now I'm just fascinated to learn about what you found in your own journey that either didn't help your scoliosis or did, because now that you've grown a centimeter and decreased your curve, you probably know a lot about what helped and what didn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a lot of it, of course, is a lot of what you are teaching as well with posture tips. So I think just paying attention to your posture, but for scoliosis, you have to think about it a little bit differently, because if your curve, for mine, goes to the right, so I'm gonna I naturally lean to the right because that's where my curve goes. So it's more just kind of reshifting your body. So a lot of it is finding where your body is in space, right? Figuring out your proprioception, and it's confusing sometimes because it's wait, if the curve is here, but then I gotta lengthen on this side or that side, and if it's tight on this side, does that mean it's stronger or is it weaker? So it's just figuring out what's best for your body. And I think that's the interesting part with it, is nobody has the same body and nobody has the same curves. And so it's really about that bio-individuality. in your exercise, but then also how you're nourishing it with every, like with your foods you're eating and your lifestyle habits as well.
Wow, there's so much that we can learn from you on this channel, and I'm really grateful that you've decided to share your tips with us today. So for someone who is watching, what would be your top tips on things to do and not to do when you have scoliosis and you're looking to build a healthy lifestyle and get fit and move well?
Awesome. Yeah, there's, of course, as you know, tons of things, but I would say the biggest thing, wherever you are on your scoliosis journey, whether you just got diagnosed or you've known forever and you haven't done anything about it, is just don't be fearful of movement and exercise. I think a lot of times people think like, well, they kind of, the doctor might say something or they're afraid that they're going to hurt it. And so you kind of have that fear of going out to try a class or even if I'm, like how my curve got worse from yoga, I could have been like, wait, I can't do yoga anymore. But it's not about that. It's more, on the other hand, I want you to, on the do side is do stay active, do continue moving, but but figuring out how to move for your body, right? So learning the specific modifications for my scoliosis, that's what kind of helped it so that I can still do yoga or I can still go and do a circuit training class or weightlifting or cardio.
So don't be scared of movement and do explore and personalize your approach to your exercise practice.
Yes.
Learn about your body and better understand what movements can help you in your journey to living a healthy and active and fit lifestyle.
For sure. Yeah. And the biggest part of that, like the first thing I always help people with that movement is that you want to first like elongate and lengthen your spine. So, right when we wake up in the morning and you get out of bed, whether you have scoliosis or not, gravity is working against us, right? So, and that's why it's that whole thing, oh, like as you get older, you're going to get shorter or, anything, but it's with the gravity, right, compressing on your disc. So I stress a lot of importance on like elongation and lengthening of the spine.
Gosh, I want to take a fitness class with you. Next up on the channel, you'll be a guest for a fitness class for sure. Yeah. What other do's and don'ts would you share with everyone?
I would say don't let your diagnosis define you. So specific to scoliosis, don't let the sum of your degrees define you, right? So just because you have a 10-degree curve or a 50-degree curve, it doesn't mean one thing or the other. Just because it's a higher degree doesn't mean that equals more pain, etc. So, and this goes with anything, right? So even whether you have a different diagnosis or a different injury or whatever, it's just one part of you. So I would recommend, so don't let your diagnosis define you, but instead use it as a way to learn about your body. And realizing that your body is such an amazing vessel, right? And that and we're all individual, but that way and the body can heal, and the body has all the, it knows what to do. So it's more just us making sure we're nourishing it, like feeding it the right things, giving it the right type of movement. That whole like food is medicine, movement is medicine that we always, that you stress a lot as well.
Absolutely. And this is what you teach through your program, correct? All of the lifestyle practices that can help someone with scoliosis be fit and be not just fit physically, but mentally and emotionally and spiritually as well.
Yeah, for sure. Just because it's, I think from someone who doesn't have scoliosis, you might just think, oh, it's by definition a lateral curve of the spine. So then it's just a physical thing. But with scoliosis, it's when you live with it every day and it's not something that you're going to go to a fitness class for an hour or like go to physical therapy for an hour and then it's going to be fixed. It's figuring out how to manage it, but also being able to thrive while you have these unique curves as well.
Yeah. Well, so anything else that you'd like to share today with this community about the do's and don'ts of exercise with scoliosis?
Yeah, so I have one more thing that I know you touched upon, the emotional mental side. So even though that it's a physical diagnosis, it does impact, it can impact some more than others. mentally and emotionally, because of like what I mentioned earlier of when the aesthetic of it, right? And then what societal norms are. So what I always encourage is to not compare yourself to others, because we're all on our own journey. So making sure that you find your community. And I think the amazing part of social media and everything that we have now is that we can connect with each other. So finding community, sharing with each other, being vulnerable, because if you have something that you're going through, someone else likely is also going through something, and you can relate and learn from each other.
Absolutely. Gosh, these are all such incredible tips, and I'm so thankful for you coming and sharing your expertise. Now I'm dying to have you as a guest on the channel to do some SCOLIOFITNESS with us and teach us some exercise, because I'm wanting to lengthen my spine right now. So for everyone watching, please stay tuned, because I believe this is just the beginning of the content that we'd be creating with Vivian over here on the channel. So Vivian, if someone wants to learn more, where can they find you?
The easiest place is probably to go to Instagram, and I'm at Day with Viv, and also at SCOLIOFITNESS. I'm starting my YouTube channel, so you can connect through here. And also I do have a free stretching guide of 5 simple stretches you could do to lengthen your spine and ease back pain. So that's also linked on my pages as well.
And I'll include all of those links in the video description box below this video. So definitely just scroll down, click the description, and all of her links will be right there for you. So if you want to dig in and find more. Vivian, thank you so much for coming today and sharing your top tips. I am very inspired by you and your work, and I cannot wait to have you on the channel for more Feel Good Fitness. So thank you, and thank you all for watching. If you have comments or questions for Vivian, please leave them in the comment section below. And we will see Vivian soon here on the channel or over at SCOLIOFITNESS. Thank you, Vivian.
Thank you, Caroline, and thanks for everyone for watching.